welcome to my tutorial. In the next few minutes I'll be explaining how to take a existing weapon and to change its missile speed and missile trajectory on a simple basis. As you can see here, I've got my just very custom weapon. I copied the Marauder and I've set the launch and impact effects just to be the siege tank so it looks cool because we're going to be shooting explosives up in the air pretty soon. So let's go back to the editor and we'll get started. So in this tutorial I'm going to assume that you already have a weapon and a unit that has that weapon all set up already. You could just modify an existing weapon like the Marauder's weapon, but in the effect that I don't want to overwrite anything from the actual game, I just made duplicates of everything. So if you do not have like your very own standalone weapon that shoots a missile, meaning it has two actors, one for the missile and the attack, has two effects, one for the damage and the missile, then you should go figure out how to do that, find another tutorial. So since we have all that, let's get to the point of how do we get it to move. So first of all, you will notice that in the effect for the missile, you will find it has a mover in it. In this tutorial I named my weapon the Crazy Gun because it's going to be pretty crazy. Well, not really, but you'll see that it has, in the missile, it has a mover. In this case it's Marauder weapon because I copied it from the Marauder. We do not care about this, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And another important thing in the missile, part of the effect, is the ammo unit. All ranged weapons have an ammo unit. And in this case it's still the Marauder because I copied it from the Marauder. But since this is really its own custom weapon, I suppose I should have already had it be the Crazy Gun weapon that I created. And then units, you'll see the weapon the Crazy Gun, which is just a duplicate again of the Marauder weapon. You'll see that if you scroll down to the movement mover field, it says the Marauder weapon for the mover. This is what we're going to be changing. So what we need to do to change the speed and the trajectory of the weapon, we need to go to the Movers tab and we will make a new mover. I'm going to call it the Crazy Gun Mover because it's for the Crazy Gun and it's the mover. Make sure the mover type is missile, and then all you need to do really is select the motion phases, which is at first a very intimidating screen. So I mean, you can see all these fields. There's a lot you can do, but to start off simple, we're just going to make one motion phase. The driver will be guidance, and the main fields we're going to be editing are generally the first 6. We want the acceleration to be, let's say, 3. The starting speed will be 0, and the max speed will be 9. So this is saying that the speed will start at 0, it'll accelerate at a rate of 3, and it'll reach a max speed of 9. -1 for all these other fields will mean it will retain the previous speed, or the maximum, I think. So you do not need to worry about those if they do not have a specific value. So pretty much that's all you have to do to make a simple moving, changing the speed of a simple projectile. You set the speed and the acceleration. So now we just have to go back to the unit. And this is the weapon Crazy Gun unit. It is not the weapon, it is the unit for the weapon. Scroll down to the mover and then select the new mover we just made called the Crazy Gun Mover. So now that is it. For simple speed, let's go in the game and see how it looks. So here we are in game. Got our Marine with our new Crazy Gun. So now, as you can see, we shoot it and it starts slow at 0 and then it slowly accelerates up to 9. I don't think it gets to 9, but it is slowly accelerating, and you can see how the explosions are happening when the missile hits there. So I mean, this is, as basic as you can get, but as you can see, it does have a pretty powerful effect. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go back to the editor and try something a little bit crazier, if you will. So here we are back in the editor now. The only thing we need to change at this point to make a ridiculous path is the mover. So we're gonna go back to the Crazy Gun mover, go to the motion phases, and see what we can do. So first of all, I'm gonna add another motion phase, because there will be two phases to this next thing I've planned out. The first driver, we're going to change that to throw, and we can set the speed to the acceleration to 10, the speed to 10, the max speed to 10. So it'll just always be at speed 10. And then we're going to scroll down to right about here in the middle, throw vector. This is the direction at which it is thrown. I want the throw vector to be x0, y0, z1, and this will cause the rocket to shoot straight up in the air. So now that we have the direction that the missile is launched and the speed defined up here, that is the direction at speed in which the missile will be launched, and this does not mean that the missile will home in on the target. This means it'll go that way continuously. That is why we have the second motion phase. But how do we get to the second motion phase is right here about a quarter of the way down, the outro. You can change the blend and the stop time. This is, I think, when it starts fading into the next motion phase and when it is officially over. So we can say 3 for the blend phase and then 4 for the stop. I'm not 100% sure on the units that it uses, but if you fiddle around with the numbers, you can generally see when it'll change phases. It is based on the time, because changing the speed will have it go higher up in the air before it switches to the next phase. I'm not exactly sure of the time because, as you'll find out, I don't think it's fully 3 or 4 seconds. Alright, so this next motion phase, we're going to make it a guidance, because we want it to guide towards our target. We will set the acceleration to be 3, max speed 3, speed 3. So it'll just be moving at the speed of 3, which is roughly a third of what it was moving in the upwards direction. So the important thing for guidance is that we want to change down here about 3/4 of the way down. Change the orientation of the yaw, the pitch, and the roll all to 8. And that is it. You have the throw phase, which shoots it straight up, I think is what the coordinates I got for it, at a speed of 10. And then 3 it'll start blending, and then at 4 it'll be completely into the guidance phase, in which it'll move at a speed of 3, which is much slower, towards the target, because of the orientation of the yaw, pitch, and the roll we just set. So now we can get out of here, and it should still be on the same mover, so now all I have to do is go into the game and see if it works. Alright, so now here we are in game with our finalized Crazy Gun, and you can see that when we shoot it, the missile shoots up and then it starts seeking its target. And this is just done by the mover, so you can see that when we shoot one up, the damage happens when the missile hits. So here you have it. It's a very simple but unique path, just done with the mover properties. So thanks for watching this tutorial. Hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you next time.